God protecting you or protecting me. And I'm not saying he doesn't protect us, but there are too many people who are dead and dying, etc., out here. And they believed in God. They believed in the Lord. They were good people. Yeah, certainly good people. So, like I said, we got about 10 minutes to go before we get Rich on the line. So let's see, I'm going to go over here and extend my time. So, oh, yeah. So, El Paso, the CO Vista Mall decided a couple of years ago that it was going to go gun free. Well, it went gun free. Okay. Certainly did. It went gun free. You see what happened, right? Somebody came in there with a gun and started shooting people, and no one had a gun to fire back. Because, see, these mass shooters always go to areas that they know are gun free, whether it's Sandy Hook, whether it's Parkland. They go to schools where they know there are no people carrying guns because we're too civilized to have guns. We live in such a great community. We don't need to have guns here. I don't have any sympathy for these people anymore, for empathy. I really don't. Because they have no concern for people who are under siege, like in Baltimore, in Detroit, and here in Chicago. People are under siege. And the police can't help them. I was looking at a young boy got shot in the face yesterday. I think I was reading in the paper. He was sitting in his house, in his bedroom, got shot in the face. Amazing. But, one of the things that is one of the end alls for me, the end alls and be alls is get this. You got to get this. This is too much. Mexico vows to take legal action against the United States after the El Paso massacre. Do you realize how many people are killed in Juarez? Let's just look at the death tolls in Mexican cities for 2018 if they have them. Let's see. Death tolls. I'm going to do this real quick. I love this stuff. Death tolls Mexican cities. Okay, death toll Mexican cities. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, at 18. Okay. This is for 2018. And this is the foreign minister of Mexico saying that he's going to come after America for the senseless murdering of Mexican citizens. I think of the 22 people who were shot down in El Paso. 22 died. Now we said 20 initially, 22. I think 6 were Mexican citizens. So, in Mexico last year, this is reported in a Time magazine in January. They said Mexico experienced a record number of murders for the second year in a row in 2018, with official statistics logging 33% more killings than in 2017. And he wants to come after us, right? You know how many the Mexican authorities opened 33,000. Listen to this. They opened 33,341 murder investigations in 2018. Now, we had how many years of Vietnam? 63 to 73, and we lost roughly, say, 58,000 people. They're talking about 1 year. 1 year. They lost 33,500 people almost. And he's trying to call our country barbaric. I'm laughing because it is ludicrous. These Mexicans are stupid. So the epidemic of violence, they say, presents an interesting challenge for Mexico's left-wing socialist Lopez Obrador, who took office just last December. He's promising to improve security and root out corruption. I'm laughing because you can't keep a straight face with these Mexicans talking about how we're barbaric. They they opened the year with 33,500, almost 341,000 murder investigations. Remember now, we had 58,000 people die in war in Vietnam over a 10-year period. Okay. So sorry for laughing, but it's just too much. They were talking about the morgues being filled up with victims in the escalating bloodshed. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm trying to look at a place where they can just give me tolls for the different cities, like how many people died in Juarez, how many people died in Tijuana. Because Tijuana, if I don't remember right, Tijuana had some horrible number of people. Let's see here. Time. Let's see. Far East facts, drug war facts. Let's see. I'm just gonna put in here Juarez and see what happens. Juarez, and see what happens. Death toll in Juarez. Ciudad Juarez. Local deaths. Legal action over. Oh man, this is too funny. Oh, no, this is another LA Times story on legal action over the 7 dead citizens massacre. I mean, really? Look at your own backyard and before you try to come across the border. So they say in Juarez, they have 200 murders a month. In Juarez, they have 200 murders a month. That's 2,400 murders a year, just at that pace. Wow. Amazing. Juarez. The world's most dangerous city. Juarez returns to life. Now let's see how many in Tijuana. Because these are things I'm going to throw out at Dick next Tijuana. Next session. Let's see. 31 killed in 24-hour period in Tijuana. Oh, man. This is unreal. Let's see here. 31 killed. 5 of the 6 most violent cities in the world are in Mexico. Hey, this was a report out in just this May. And this guy's talking about coming after America. Who do these people think? See, that's why we need Donald Trump in. Because Donald Trump would say, are you kidding me? You had 200 people die in just across the river in Juarez last month. You had over 200 people die. And you're going to try to act like we're barbaric because we had a atypical shootout and 22 people were killed on a weekend, and you have over 200 people killed in Juarez every month. I mean, really? Hey, I'm just saying. Man, I tell you. I remember when Mexico was so quiet, peaceful. Oh, here we go. The 10 most violent cities in the world. Tijuana, 138 deaths per 100,000 residents. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Tijuana has like 3 million people, something like that. Then you have Acapulco, 111. Wow. Caracas. Man, I tell you, they have a lot of folks dying in Mexico. And this guy's going to talk about how he's going to come after America after this massacre. I mean, and this is what he had the nerve to say. This is the foreign minister of Mexico. He says, and his name is, what is his name? Foreign minister called the attack in Mexico. I have his little speech, but it's in Spanish. He's talking to Americans. We speak English here, punk. Uh, Imard is his name. He calls the shootings an act of barbarism. He said the president has instructed me to ensure that Mexico's indignation translates into effective, prompt, expeditious, and forceful legal actions for Mexico to take a role and demand that conditions are established that present Mexicans in the United States, that protect Mexicans in the United States. Shut the hell up. Are you protecting Americans in Mexico who are being shot down at your resorts, who are being extorted at your resorts? I heard about the horror stories over the spring holidays. I hear about the horror stories of people going down there on vacation. Nobody wants to go to Mexico anymore. And if they go to a resort, they don't come off, which is hurting your economy. Boy, boy, boy. El Paso. Wow. Amazing. I love it. But that's what the Mexicans said they're going to do. They're going to come after us because we're a barbaric nation. Hey, look, we have Richard Pearson on the line. We're going to bring Mr. Pearson on. He's the executive director of Illinois Rifle Association. And we're going to talk a little bit about the shootings, talk a little bit about why they're hassling Mitch McConnell and how this legislation is feel-good legislation. If I hear, how you doing, Richard? Welcome to the show.
I'm all right. How are you?
Outstanding. You know, Richard, we keep hearing. I had this clip I wanted to play of this guy, Tim Ryan. He's running for president. Never heard of this guy before he started running for president.
There are only two people not running for president. Are you and I, and I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, me too. So that's great. You'd be a great president, man. You'd be a great president. But this guy, Tim Ryan, I was so angry listening to this guy call for a ban on assault rifles. You know, they just stand up and lie like we have assault rifles on the streets of America. We don't, unless they're in the hands of law enforcement or military people. So, but they act like an AR-15 is an assault rifle. But this is what this guy had to say.
Leadership right now, and enough is enough. I mean, you watch these videos and you see Dillard's in the background and you see Walmart in the background, or you see a church in the background, and no one feels safe anymore. And there is a bottleneck in the United States Senate with Mitch McConnell. We passed in the House of Representatives a few weeks back, background checks, a basic step that 90% of the American people support. And the Republicans need to, quite frankly, get their shit together and stop pandering to the NRA because people are getting killed. We need.
Well, that's Tim Ryan. I just can't believe this guy. He says 90% of the American people back this legislation. Nobody polled me. Nobody asked for my opinion. So I guess I'm in that 10% that didn't get polled or that doesn't approve. I didn't get polled. Me too. So, these guys, they just lie and they lie. And if I see, I'm going to tell you right now, Dick, if I see Tim Ryan, I'm going to punch him out. So you need to send me some bail money because I'm tired of these people lying on American citizens. I'm tired of them trying to lying to the American people and trying to disrupt our way of life. I take this as a personal affront. I really do. I'm starting to take, and I think a lot of people are starting to take this very personal who are gun advocates, that these people like Barack Obama get on TV and just lie. I remember when President Obama said, these kind of assault rifles, these are weapons of war. And we don't need weapons of war in our homes. We don't need weapons of war on the streets of America in the hands of citizens. And I'm thinking, and so, people start repeating this crap, right? Because President Obama said it and he's so smart. He's so right. And I'm going, no, he's lying. And I proved how they were lying. Anyway, Dick, go ahead. Tell us, what is this HR 6 that these people are talking about? They passed out of the House and McConnell won't. What's the
Well, this is
significance?
a universal background check bill, but it's actually a gun registration bill. That's what it really is. Whenever you get anything out of Congress, particularly from the liberal side of the House, view it as a cow pie covered with whipped cream. Okay, because that's really what it is. And so what they're trying to do is they're trying to slip stuff under the door, and we're not going to put up with it. And I don't think that it will pass, but we all have to be on our guard. The NRA has had some rough times lately. So
yeah, they have.
We're going to have to take up the gauntlet and go directly to Congress and say, we don't want this stuff.
Well, I look at what happened with the NRA and Ollie North and Wayne and all those guys over there and Chris. I don't know what's going on with the NRA, but I know this. Folks need to get their act together because we are seriously under attack by the left. And if these lefties get their way, we look at the Mueller investigation. We look at the FBI and how they handle themselves in such a partisan fashion. I was listening to a clip the other day of a former mafia kingpin. He was a leader of one of the families. And he said there's more corruption in government today than there's ever been. And you have to, when you look at it, that there is, because, how does Hillary Clinton get away with erasing 35,000 emails and destroying hard drives and things that could be used as evidence and things that belong to the American people, and nothing happens because, as Jeff Sessions,
you got to take a walk.
Well, as Jeff Sessions said, well, she's the former first lady and we can't go after her. I mean, who are these people?
Yeah, right.
Jeff Sessions actually.
I don't buy any of that part.
I don't either. I don't either. But registering our guns, they did that in Germany, and then they came around and they picked up everybody's guns. People. I saw the knee-jerk reaction to this New Zealand thing. And, they did that in Australia. How did the gun confiscation program work in Australia? And how's that working out for them now? Because I keep reading different things about the effectiveness of, they had one mass shootings.
They've taken thousands and millions of guns out of Australian hands. And so there are really very, very few firearms left there that are, you can have a double barrel shotgun maybe and a single barrel rifle, but that's about it. Maybe no, they do have some special licenses for competition teams, but for the average Australian, if the Japanese come to their door today, they're done. And
well, they want us to come.
World War II.
They want us to come and rescue them. The good old U.S. of A.
Right.
The world's police force.
I got news for them. Next time we ain't coming. Have a nice day.
Well,
I'm tired of this stuff.
I am
and
too.
As far as the Mexican government coming after us, the history of Mexico. We had a little problem with them in the 1840s. We had the Mexican War,
right?
And then in World War I, we had the Zimmerman letter, which the Mexicans were trying to make a deal with the Kaiser to take back Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico. And so they were in on that one. Then in World War II, they were slipping Nazi saboteurs and spies across their border. So if you guys want to come ahead. In 1866, Maximilian said, Mexico might invade the United States. And President Andrew Johnson at the time said, well, you can do that if you want to, but I got 2 million battle-hardened troops that are unemployed. Why don't you all come? And he never heard from him again.
Yeah.
So, that would have been fun.
Yeah, well,
So my theory is let's shorten the Mexican border. Let's take it all the way down to Honduras, Guatemala, and Panama, and that way the border will only be about 150 miles long. We can defend it.
We can defend it. But, after we won the Mexican-American War, there was a thought of annexing Mexico, and people decided not to. So that's, it's okay with me. But I
don't care one way or the other. But if you come after us, that's the best idea you ever had.
No, it's not. And so the Mexican foreign minister said that he's going to come after and take legal action against America because we in this El Paso shooting of the 22 who died, 7 were Mexican citizens. I'm looking at. I had to look up how many Mexicans died in 2018. They opened up 33,341 murder investigations in the country. I said during Vietnam, from 1903 to 1974, we lost about 58,000 men. They just last year, they opened up 33,500 murder investigations, man. That's incredible.
Do you know what? Mexico's really a third world country.
No question.
Maybe a fourth.
No question.
But anyhow, what their idea of opening up and send out a truck with about 4 guys on it, and they pick up the bodies, and that's what they call an investigation.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
Okay. Gotcha. But
that's their investigation.
Yeah.
How many people got caught? None.
Exactly. Now, we look at this shooting down in El Paso. Unfortunately, the shooter went to a gun-free zone. Now, I heard people, you haven't seen any of these people interviewed, but on my Facebook, on my Twitter page, people have said, I quit going to Cilio Vista Mall when they went gun-free. When they became a gun-free zone, I stopped going. So these people are there on
idea.
Yeah, well, these people are there on a Saturday afternoon. Nobody's supposed to have guns in a gun-free zone, and they're feeling all good and all safe and all happy. And all of a sudden, what happens, Richard? Somebody shows up with a what? With a gun. It's no longer a gun-free zone.
The other interesting thing is we're congratulating the police in Daytona, which were right there. But it took how many minutes for the police in El Paso to respond?
I think it was 20. I've heard 20. I don't know. What did you hear?
20.
Okay.
20.
Okay.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
What a rapid response that was. You mean there wasn't a cop within 20 miles?
Yeah, but think about this,
that's
Richard.
About how long it takes to go 20, you can go in 20 minutes, 20 miles.
But think about this, Richard. If this guy had 20 minutes in the mall and he only shot 22 people, this other young man in Dayton, he killed 9 people in like 30 seconds. He would have had a field day in Dallas, in El Paso, in that mall.
Right.
I mean, so it takes these guys 20 minutes. They got to get there. They have to suit up. They have to evaluate the situation and then go execute.
Call for backup.
Yeah. So
I know
it to me, I don't know about you, but I tell you, I am just tired of these stupid politicians and people talking about legislating guns when it's about taking out crazy people. I think the standing order should be that any mass shooter should not walk out of the site, whether or not he or she gives themselves.
I don't know why we're so proud of taking this guy alive.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Well, we need to evaluate. Who cares that he claims to be a white nationalist? See, this is the thing about these people.
I don't care what he is.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Yeah, exactly. This is
Kill
the
him
thing.
and be done with it.
Yeah, this is the thing. They claim these nouveau people. Now this young man in Dayton, I'm sure that he's not connected to any organization. He was just online and he has these ideas and he's his sister was dating a black man. When he drove to Dayton from wherever they drove to Dayton from, Cincinnati, wherever, he's riding the car with a black dude who's dating his sister.
Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something about these guys like the Ohio guy and probably the Texas guy. somebody in that family knew this guy was a kook and didn't turn him in. These finally, his family said, "Oh, I'm so surprised. I'm grieving and all that kind of stuff." You know what? I'm afraid I don't buy that anymore.
You don't?
I know if I had a kid, I know what that kid's doing. You know, and if you were my kid, if you screwed up, I would personally hang you out to dry. You'd be glad to see the cops.
Yeah, that's the way my brothers and I felt too about my mother and father's discipline. We'd rather deal with the police officer. In fact, my brother got caught for
That's right.
my brother got caught for shoplifting some little bubblegum cards, some Beetle bubblegum cards. Never forget this. And the man said to him, "Well, let me call your mom and have her come pick you up." He said, "No, call the police." And so
Yeah, call the police.
so,
Please call the police.
yeah, he said
Right.
no. He said no. It's not a big deal. You come in here all the time. I know your parents. I know you're from a good family. He said no. Call the police. And so they took my brother to the police station. They called my mom. And my brother went down. My mother didn't beat my brother, and my dad didn't beat my brother. I was so happy that they did not beat him because he was so scared. He was like, "No, they're gonna kill me. So just go ahead and take me to the police station, and I'll go to jail before I get this whooping."
Right.
But
Too hard time.
exactly. I mean, he was like
Right.
10 years old, man. He was like 7 or 8, 10, maybe 9 years old. And but that's I mean, that's the way we were raised, man. And after that, my father and mother started giving us an allowance for doing chores because in those days they worked you like a dog, and you didn't get any money for doing chores in those days. And so my parents started giving us a little allowance for all the work we do around the house because we really had chores to do every day. So it was interesting. So it was a learning experience, I guess, for everybody.
Well, I was in a very progressive household. I got 25 cents a week.
Uh-huh. Yeah, well, 25 cents,
That was
Dick.
my allowance.
But Dick, 25 cents went a long way in those days. I remember for 26 cents.
Actually, for 25, for 25 cents, I could go to a movie and have a box of popcorn. It was 25 cents.
See, when I that's a little ahead of me, but when I went to with 26 cents a day, I could buy lunch at school. Let's see, I could buy a full lunch at school, or after practice, I could buy we could buy a Coke for 12 cents and a bag of chips for 10 cents, a bag of Lay's potato chips. Never forget, Lay's potato chips. You can't eat just one. And so I would practice eating just
That's
one
right.
until I got home. But yeah, and I have 3 or 4 cents left over. But today, man, that little bag of chips costs $1.39.
That's right. Well, you know what? I remember my allowance was 25 cents, but since I tended the garden, which is about an acre, and I don't have a garden today, nor do I want one, just so you know that. But anyway, I could sell all the extra sweet corn, green beans, pickles, tomatoes, radishes, whatever we had in here. I was given some of those, and I could take them door to door. And I had a little route, which I sold cucumbers and radishes and whatnot in whatever season it was.
Mhm.
So that's how I made my money,
Right.
and I worked at it. I mean, I had a wheelbarrow. I loaded it up with stuff, and it all cleaned up, neatly packed.
These shootings today, all these mass shootings, we have to blame on the parents of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. They've raised the generators, they raised the generation wires, they raised the millennials, and they've done a poor job. I said their children are worthless as a group. And I mean, and these are the people who are doing the shootings. You're not seeing older guys
That's
like
true.
us. You're not seeing older guys like us picking up an AR-15 and going down to Nordstrom's mall and shooting up the mall. It's these young folks who think they're entitled, who think they're important, who think that they have something that everybody needs to pay attention to them because they're special. And these parents have done a hell of a poor job of raising these young people today. And the schools are contribute to that in that they're not teaching.
Right.
And it's a popularity contest. If you want an A, be a good friend and talk that liberal, Hillary should be, we should always have a woman president. We should always have women in charge because, you got an A, Bobby. You get it.
Yeah, I know. I taught school, and I was the first teacher who held students back because they didn't do the work. And I got called into the principal's office. Are you sure you don't want to pass Johnny and Billy and Mary and Betty? The answer was no. I don't. So I've been a heretic all my life, just so you know that.
Well, that's why you're out here defending our gun rights. This legislation that they're sending to the Senate, do you think that these shootings are going to move Mitch McConnell and is the president? Because from what I heard him say today, and you and I were both waiting to listen to his speech today.
Yeah.
I don't know if the president's on board with, because he's from that kooky New York. I don't know if the president's really getting the facts about this gun issue and what the gun issue is really about in coming out of Washington in terms of registering our firearms and eventually taking our firearms away. As what's her name? Janet Napolitano said the most dangerous person in America today was not ISIS, was not the radical Muslims, but the United States military veterans. They're our most dangerous people today. She actually said that. Remember when she said that?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think maybe it might be Janet Napolitano and Nancy Pelosi might be the most dangerous people. But anyway.
Yeah, they are wackos. But seriously, Richard, what are we going to see coming out of this, from this thing? You think, is this going to be are they going to continue the lies and get legislation passed to be more onerous than it already is?
Well, the answer to that, they're certainly going to try. They passed legislation like they did here in Illinois. We have the gun dealer licensing bill, and it's here to help stop straw purchases. I was involved in two other straw purchase bills, which nobody seems to remember. Nobody ever enforced those things. And now we have this new bill, and the reason is that the Gun Dealer Licensing Certification Act, it's called, and that will stop straw purchases. There isn't a word about straw purchases in the bill, and they didn't do anything about the last two anyway. All they do is use that for an excuse to get a more onerous bill. That's all that happens.
And when you say more, how did this bill? What is? I went and testified back in February at a hearing here in Chicago. And one of the first things I said was to the panel, the senators, was that your bill is built on a false premise. And I said, you keep using the term assault rifle. There are no assault rifles on the streets of Illinois that are in the hands of civilians. They didn't seem to get that.
Yeah, they don't want to hear it. They have selective hearing, so.
But Richard, Richard,
that's what's going on.
I know you're getting a lot of calls today. You're going to be doing a lot of interviews, and you're doing a lot of interviews. What would you like to leave with us today that someone else that we can use in our defense of?
Well, first of all, what you brought up. First of all, this is a gun-free zone. It wasn't a gun-free zone. Then they made it a gun-free zone, so it became a place to go kill unarmed, uninformed people who still went there, wasn't smart enough to stay away from it. Same thing in Dayton, Ohio. So these gun-free zones are the most dangerous places in America, and we keep making more of them. So they just become hunting grounds for predators and metal malcontents. That's all that happens with all these gun-free zones. So that's really what is going on right now, and so beware of all this legislation, because it's all a Trojan horse. You're going to think you bought a horse when you actually peel off all the hide. You find out you got to go when you get home. So that's what's going to happen.
Well, I hope that
it's all dangerous, and it's if they speak so fast, you all know all this stuff is canned and ready to go. All they have to push is the go button, and it's all out there.
yeah, and they sit and they wait, and it seemed like when the president came into office that we were right on the verge of getting national reciprocity passed, and then we have Sandy Hook.
Yeah. So we get all these, which has nothing to do with natural reciprocity, but it doesn't matter. We'll make it have something to do with it.
Yeah.
There's no lie that we can't tell.
Well, Dick, I think
you watch these guys; they'll lie about everything.
They do, and just like this guy, Tim Ryan. But I think people should go out to your website and sign up. Give us the website.
I needed to sign up. It's isra.org, and you'll see a join button. We need you to join. So that's what we need to do. Just push the join button, and an app will come up, and please just fill it out and send it in.
All right.
Or just send it. It'll actually be email. It'll be right online.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right.
And I hope we can.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work, Dick.
All right.
All right. Richard Pearson of Illinois Rifle Association, folks. He's out there hitting it hard, and we're hitting it hard, trying to bring you information that you can use, information that keeps you informed, so that you know what's going on out here, so that people are not pulling the wool over your eyes, because they will. They will, and they'll pee on your leg and tell you it's raining outside. That's what that guy from Mexico, man. I think that gets everybody's kind of goat. This guy would stand up and say, "Well, really, I think that the American people." I mean, really? I mean, this guy, he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. Doesn't get it at all. He doesn't get it, but he will. Well, I tell you, folks, we're at 1:57, which means we have about 2 or 3 minutes left in the show. And let's see. I didn't see if anyone else had called in out there. I'm trying to do that now. An act of barbarism. The shooting Saturday was an act of barbarism. Here's a guy who started the year, closed out 2018 with 33,341 murder investigations, man, I tell you. And these guys had the nerve to talk about us. I mean, really? I mean, but that's how they do it. That's how, and we let them get away with it. The only guy who does it is the president, Donald Trump. He doesn't let anyone get away with anything. So look, we're going to kind of wind down. Hope we covered some things that haven't been covered in mainstream media, like in the shootings, in Dayton, of the 9 people shot, 6 of them were black. Wow, man, that's, it's bad that anybody's getting shot, but this young man, he felt incompetent. He felt that he just couldn't get it done. Our president, though, this is what he had to say. Let's listen to President Trump for a sec. Here we go.
To the people of El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio, they're incredible people, and they've been through a lot. I just want to also thank the law enforcement in both places. The job they've done is incredible. I also want to congratulate them. I mean, nobody could have done what they've done. This could have been as bad as it was. It could have been so much worse. I just have to thank them. The job they've done is incredible. They were right on the ball.
They were right on the ball. Thank God. And I tell you, it is what it is. It's going to get better. God bless you. My condolences go out to the folks and the families down in El Paso and Dayton. And God bless you. Stay safe out there. Stay away from gun-free zones. God bless you. God bless America. Oh yeah. Hey, this is great. Robert Watches says that Roberts Watches says that he said, I prefer not to spend my money with gun-free businesses. The U.S. is not in the top 10 for mass shootings. That's true. It's true. It's true, man. It's true. Let me put that down. True. Hey, look, we're signing off. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Thanks for tuning in. Ba-na-na, ba-na-na, boom, 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 boom. Okay.